So Heihachi Mishima just released and he has a lot of tools. It's so much stuff to learn that you may miss out on key elements regarding certain attacks. So I wrote down a list of things that I think it's very important to learn right away. And the first thing I want to talk about is the Golden Spark version of his down foot 1-2 and back 2. You may already know that there's a charged up version of his attack and also the blue spark, which is done by just releasing it the moment you see a glow show up on his hand. So it looks like this, right? Same for down foot 1-2. But there is also a Golden Spark version, which is done by releasing the attack input the moment the glow is going to show up. So instead of just visually confirming it, you have to learn the timing for that. But let me tell you, it's worth it because it's so satisfying seeing that Golden Spark, and it deals more damage as well. So let's see if I can get it done here. So there we go. Since we can use back 2 and down foot 1-2 in combos, also in the neutral, I think it's definitely worth optimizing your damage that way. And it's not even that difficult. It's just a matter of getting the muscle memory for that timing. The next important thing to talk about is his forward 4. This is his pressure 2 that is super strong at the wall. If you played Reina before, you already know how he works, kinda, but he has some extra stuff. So when you hit someone crouching, you're actually plus 15 instead of 13 like in previous Tekkens and unlike Reina. And that gives you so many follow-ups. You can go for a hit engager, you can go for a wall splatting attack, and if there is no wall, you can go for a string that deals a lot of damage. But if you never played Heihachi or Reina before, something you have to practice to get it down is noticing the difference between hitting someone standing and hitting someone crouching like that. Notice that when you hit them crouching, their heads are like closer to their knees, and that's the visual cue you should look for when confirming this situation. When he's in Warrior Instinct, a very strong follow-up you have in this situation is down forward 2-1 because that gives you a full combo, but you don't have to wait until you have that available to be able to launch people because forward 4 can go into stance if you just hold down, and guess what? Hitting a crouching opponent when you do forward 4 into stance allows you to do this as a follow-up, and that gives you a full combo as well. So definitely practice recognizing that different animation on crouching opponents. And by the way, when you hit someone on counter hit, you also get some nasty follow-ups. So yeah, this button is pretty good. And next we have the Headbutt Carnival. This one is super sick. So as a Mishima, Heihachi has access to the Stone Head throw, this one here. But he also has an alternative input with up forward 1+4. This only works on male characters and some female members of his family. In Tekken 7 it was Kazumi, in this game it's Reina. But this is not even the craziest part. The crazy part is that they can reverse it if they fail to escape it. They can just mash any attack buttons, and if they succeed at that, they can reverse the throw. And this is what it looks like. Let me just show you real quick. There we go. Pretty cool. And you can also reverse it back. So if they get it on you, you can just have this back and forth until one of you mess up or lose the round because you both keep taking damage over and over. This sounds very gimmicky, but it has some uses. For example, if you have the life lead, and especially with the wall pressure, because this wall splats just like the Stonehead throw and even deals more damage because the damage is not split in two parts, you can just use it, and if the opponent fails to escape and try to reverse it, you reverse it back, you have these back and forth, and you can potentially win the round from there because you both take the same amount, and eventually they will have to either give up and take the wall combo, or just lose the round at that point. So it's not just a completely gimmicky move, it's actually quite useful. Another useful thing to learn is how to cancel your Fujin stance. This is super simple. The Fujin stance can be accessed by down 1+2 or after certain moves by holding down. And sometimes you may not want to, force a mix up with it. You just want to maybe hit confirming to it. And the way to cancel it is just first go into crouch dash by holding down forward and then quickly holding back. And if you do it fast enough, this is what it looks like, right? If you do that after forward 4, is completely safe. If they try to hit you with a jab or down forward 1, you're going to be able to block it. However, after 4-3, this is not possible against jabs. If they jab you, you're going to get hit. You just don't have enough time to cancel it. But against other moves, is lower buttons, it is safe. So what can you do against people jabbing or doing a crouching jab? Against jab, specifically, this stance option here goes under it and it launches. Only -10 on block. And against down jab, you have power crush, which is more unsafe, not as rewarding, but this is the option you have against it. And once they learn not to always retaliate, then you can just use the stance cancel to go back to neutral and play the game from there. And the last 2 tips I have is regarding his electric and Hellsweep. For the electric, now Heihachi has a perfect input, which is done by pressing forward, neutral, down forward 2. It's super nice having that because it makes it doing the electric as a punishment a lot easier. But unlike Kazuya and Reina, this does not work as a easy crouch cancel. In their situation, tapping forward is a stance and that makes them go out of crouch, but not for Heihachi. So if you want to block punish a snake edge, for example, with your electric, which is more damage than the full crouch down forward 2 that he got, you still have to dash in or do a sidestep first. And regarding his Hellsweep, don't feel forced to always go for either the low or the mid follow-ups, because the single hits is actually super strong as well. It doesn't do a lot of damage on normal hits, it's only 15. It's quite risky for just 15 damage. However, it's plus on hits, and if you get a counter hit, you can still pick it up for a full combo. You don't lose it, which is pretty nice. If you're pressuring the opponents properly, they are gonna be afraid of always ducking against you, which makes this low a very good way to start your offense on them. And these are all the tips that I wrote down that I think that it's very important to know as you pick up this character. In the future, I will cover more advanced stuff, so be on the lookout for that if you decide to main Heihachi Mishima. Anyway, see you next time.